Have you ever woken up on a gray, rainy morning, pulled the blanket up to your chin, and thought to yourself, why am I still so tired? Even after what seemed like a full night of sleep, your body feels heavy, your arms a little slow to move, your joints aching a little more than usual. You walk to the kitchen, maybe leaning on the wall a bit for balance. And as the kettle boils and the sky outside stays dark, there's this quiet thought that passes through your mind. Is this what aging is supposed to feel like? But here's something you might not realize yet. It may not be age at all. It might just be your morning habits. Innocent choices you've been repeating for years that are quietly draining your energy without you even knowing it. You see, for seniors, especially those in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, mornings matter more than ever. The first hour after you wake up sets the tone for your entire day. It's not just about whether you stretch or not. It's deeper than that. Your blood pressure shifts quickly when you move from lying down to standing. Your body temperature is lower. Your hydration is off. Your joints are stiff. And on cold, rainy days, all of this becomes even more pronounced. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they're warning signs from your body, telling you it needs something different. Now, a gentler start, a smarter rhythm, and most importantly, better choices in those first waking moments. The problem is, most people don't know what those choices should be. You do what you've always done. You reach for a hot cup of coffee first thing, maybe you skip breakfast. Maybe you sit still in your robe for an hour, flipping through the news, letting the stiffness creep in. Or perhaps you stand too fast, take your medications without water, or put off eating because nothing sounds good. These habits seem small, even normal. But for someone over 60, especially when it's damp or cold outside, they can quietly deplete your strength and accelerate fatigue before the day even begins. And I say this not to alarm you, but to empower you. Because the truth is, you are not stuck feeling this way. You don't have to accept weakness, fogginess, or joint pain as part of your daily routine. You simply need to become aware of what's working against you and replace those quiet energy thieves with habits that actually support your body's natural rhythm. And once you do that, something remarkable happens. You stop feeling like you're dragging yourself through the morning. You start to move with more ease. Your energy feels more stable. And on those rainy days, when it's so easy to feel weighed down, you'll feel lighter, not just in your body, but in your spirit too. Now, let me ask you something, and really take a moment to consider your answer. When was the last time you woke up and felt truly refreshed? Not just I slept okay, but deeply ready to start the day, mentally clear, joints flexible, steady on your feet. If that feels like a distant memory, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're doing something wrong on purpose. It's because no one ever told you that aging changes the rules. What worked for you at 40 doesn't always work at 70, and when the weather shifts, when the barometric pressure drops, and the rain lingers in the air, your body is already working harder just to stay in balance. The wrong morning habit? In that moment is like throwing more weight on your shoulders when you're already struggling to stand up. But here's the hopeful part. You don't need to overhaul your entire morning. You don't need to train like an athlete or follow some complicated routine. You just need to stop doing a few specific things that are silently draining you and start replacing them with choices that work with your body instead of against it. Because your body still wants to work for you. It's still capable of healing, strengthening, and waking up with more energy. Even in your 70s. Even on the coldest day of the year. But it can't do that if the first thing you give it is something that confuses your hormones, stiffens your joints, spikes your blood pressure, or blocks your digestion. What you do and don't do in the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking can make all the difference between a day filled with movement and clarity, or one spent fighting fatigue and trying to push through pain. And it's not about being perfect. It's about becoming just a little more mindful, a little more intentional, and remembering that even the smallest choices like what you sip first, or whether you sit or stretch, carry weight. You deserve mornings that feel nourishing, mornings that help you stand taller, move easier, and feel more present in your body. And yes, you can absolutely have those mornings again, even if right now, they feel out of reach. Because strength doesn't start in your arms or your legs, it starts in your routine. And when you understand which habits are helping you and which are quietly stealing your energy, you'll finally feel like you have control again over your body, your energy, your entire day. So if you've been feeling more tired than usual, if your joints scream at you when you get out of bed, if your head feels cloudy or your legs feel heavy before noon, I want you to know it doesn't have to stay that way. There's something you can do. In fact, there are 4 specific habits that most seniors repeat every morning, especially on cold, rainy days, that are quietly making everything worse. And once you stop doing them and replace them with better, simpler choices, your energy will return in ways you may not have felt in years. Let's talk about what those 4 habits are, and more importantly, how to gently shift away from them, starting tomorrow morning. On a cold, rainy morning, it's completely natural to want to ease into the day slowly. But there are certain things we tend to do, habits that feel harmless, even comforting, that actually set us up for a day of stiffness, low energy, and mental fog. The challenge is that these habits are so familiar, we don't even realize they're affecting us negatively. And for seniors, whose bodies respond more sensitively to both environmental and internal changes, these small actions can have surprisingly big effects. Let's start with one of the most common morning habits: drinking coffee first thing on an empty stomach. It's almost a ritual. You wake up, shuffle into the kitchen, and pour yourself a hot cup before you even think about breakfast. The warmth feels good, especially when it's chilly or damp outside. But here's the problem. Coffee, especially black coffee, is acidic. When you drink it before eating anything, it can irritate the stomach lining, spike cortisol, your stress hormone, and create a jittery, hollow kind of energy that crashes fast. And for someone over 60, with possibly thinner stomach lining, or more sensitive digestion, this can lead to more than just heartburn. It can trigger inflammation, disrupt your blood sugar levels, and even increase your chances of feeling dizzy or lightheaded, especially if you're also taking medications in the morning. A better choice: start with a warm glass of water, plain or with a squeeze of lemon, to hydrate your body gently and wake up your digestive system without shocking it. Then, have a small bite of food, like a banana, a piece of toast with almond butter, or even a few spoonfuls of oatmeal, before you sip your coffee. That way, you're giving your body a buffer, and the caffeine won't hit your system like a tidal wave. You'll feel steadier, less anxious, and your energy will be far more sustainable throughout the day. Now let's talk about movement, or rather, the lack of it. On cold, rainy mornings, it's tempting to stay wrapped up in a robe or blanket, sitting in the same spot for an hour or two while the world stays gray outside your window. And while a slow start may feel cozy, remaining totally still, especially right after waking up, allows stiffness to settle deeper into your joints. When we sleep, our circulation slows down, and synovial fluid, the natural lubricant, in your joints isn't circulating as well. The longer you sit after waking, the longer it takes for that fluid to warm up and allow for smoother movement. If you've ever tried to stand up after sitting too long in the morning and felt like your knees or back were locked, that's why. For seniors, especially those dealing with arthritis or previous injuries, this can become a daily struggle. And over time, this contributes to the loss of mobility, not just discomfort. The solution doesn't require a workout routine or stretching. Like a gymnast, it's about gentle activation. Before getting out of bed, try flexing your ankles back and forth, wiggling your fingers, slowly rolling your shoulders. Once you stand, walk slowly to the bathroom or kitchen, allowing your body to move through space, even if it's just a few steps. Movement wakes up the lymphatic system, improves circulation, and helps relieve that heavy, sluggish feeling many seniors feel on cold mornings. Think of it as telling your body, yes, it's time to begin. Let's do it gently. The third habit is one many people do without thinking: skipping breakfast entirely or delaying it for hours. Sometimes this happens because you don't feel hungry. Other times, it's because nothing sounds good, or it's become routine to wait until lunch. But for an older adult, especially on rainy or cold days, when your metabolism is already slower, skipping breakfast is risky. When you delay nourishment, your blood sugar dips, your energy drops, and your muscles, which are already trying to preserve strength, begin to break down faster due to lack of fuel. Your body needs protein in the morning, especially after fasting all night. Without it, you're more likely to feel weak, dizzy, or mentally foggy. Over time, regularly skipping breakfast can contribute to faster muscle loss, weaker bones, and even increased fall risk. And when it's raining and cold and you're already less likely to move much, this lack of fuel becomes even more harmful. What should you eat instead? You don't need a big heavy breakfast. A small protein-rich meal is enough. A boiled egg, a scoop of Greek yogurt with berries, a slice of whole grain toast with nut butter, or a protein smoothie, something light but steady. It tells your body, I'm awake, and I'm taking care of you today. This small action alone can improve balance, boost energy, and help regulate your appetite for the rest of the day. Now let's talk about medications, something nearly every senior deals with. The fourth habit that drains energy may come from taking all your medications and supplements too early, without food, or in the wrong combinations. Many seniors line up their pills, take them with a sip of water, and move on with their day, not realizing that some of those pills require food for proper absorption. Others can irritate your stomach or lower your blood pressure too quickly when taken on an empty stomach, especially common on cool, rainy days when your body's natural blood pressure is already low from sleep. This combination can lead to dizziness, nausea, headaches, or general fatigue that hits mid-morning and makes you feel like you can't quite get going. The problem isn't always the medication itself, it's when and how you take it. Blood pressure medications, diuretics, and certain pain relievers are especially known to cause side effects if taken without food or fluids, and supplements like iron, zinc, or B vitamins can cause digestive issues if not paired with the right meal. A practical fix: review your morning medication schedule with your doctor or pharmacist. Make sure you know which ones require food and which ones should be spaced apart, and always aim to take them with a warm drink and a light meal, never on an empty stomach. Your body deserves that extra support, and it can make the difference between feeling drained or energized. By 10 a.m., when all four of these habits come together, black coffee on an empty stomach, no movement, skipping breakfast, and rushed medications, the effect is a silent drain on your energy and strength. And during cold, rainy mornings, when your body already has to work harder to maintain warmth, fluid balance, and stable blood pressure, these choices become even more taxing. But when you gently shift away from these habits, something changes. You feel steadier when you stand. Your thoughts feel clearer. Your appetite feels more balanced. And your body starts to move with less resistance. You may still feel the rain in your joints, but it won't hold you down the way it used to. Because your mornings are no longer working against you. They're working with you. This isn't about being perfect. It's about honoring where you are now and choosing to support your body, especially in those quiet, early hours that shape everything else. And when you begin to feel stronger, calmer, and more grounded, even when the clouds linger overhead, you'll know something real has shifted. So now you know those quiet, familiar things you've been doing each morning, especially when it's rainy and cold outside, may not be as harmless as they seem. That first cup of coffee before food, sitting still too long in the early hours, skipping breakfast, or taking medications without the right support, they're small habits, yes. But over time, they stack up and shape the way your entire day feels. And if you've been feeling more tired, more sluggish, more achy than usual, these could be part of the reason. But the beautiful thing is, you're not stuck, you're not too old, and it's not too late. Your body still responds, it still listens. When you change the way you begin your day, your body begins to change the way it responds to you. And that's where your power lies. Maybe tomorrow morning, instead of heading straight for the coffee pot, you pause. You sip a glass of warm water. You move your feet in bed before standing. You choose a little protein, even just half a banana with a spoonful of peanut butter. You give your medications the time and support they need to do their job without leaving you dizzy or drained. These changes don't require you to be anyone other than who you already are. They simply invite you to care for yourself in a way that honors the season of life you're in. Cold, rainy days are hard enough as they are. They press on your joints, slow your steps, and make everything feel a little heavier. But when you treat your mornings with care, when you greet your body gently instead of shocking it, those days don't have to feel impossible. You can feel strong again. You can feel steady. You can protect your energy instead of watching it disappear before noon. And the best part, you don't need a special supplement, or an expensive gadget, or a complicated routine. You just need awareness and a willingness to act, not perfectly, just consistently. A little movement, a little nourishment, a little kindness toward yourself. In those first quiet moments of the day, it's easy to feel like aging is something that just happens to you, something out of your control. But the truth is, the way you age is shaped by the choices you make every single day. And the first choices of the day, your morning habits, are some of the most important. So give your body what it really needs: warmth, movement, gentle fuel, and a rhythm that supports your health instead of fighting it. That is how strength is rebuilt. That is how clarity returns. That is how healing begins. Not with a grand gesture, but with small steps repeated with care. And if today's video helped you see that, if it helped you understand why your mornings feel harder than they used to, and how to start changing that, then I want you to know you're already on the right path. Because awareness is the beginning of change. You deserve to wake up and feel good in your body. You deserve to enjoy your mornings, not dread them. You deserve to feel seen you're strong, even when the weather isn't on your side. So take what you've learned today and begin gently, one small habit at a time. And if it makes a difference, even a little, share it. There's someone else out there, just like you, waking up to another rainy day, wondering why they feel so tired. And you could be the one who shows them a better way forward. If this message helped you, if it made you feel seen, heard, or even just a little more hopeful, go ahead and click the like button. Subscribe for more support and guidance. And send this to someone you care about, because we're all walking this path together. And every small change, shared with love, makes all the difference. Let the rain fall. Your mornings are stronger now.